31。好 testing。好 testing。OK。好，咁我將呢個 link 放喺Google Meet 同埋放喺 WhatsApp 俾大家，咁就可以過去 say 個 hi 啦，亦都係。25號未點名，好未見都冇辦法啦。我哋等多一陣，而家49分啦，1分鐘之後。30人，扣返我即係29，跟住有一位未喺度，30即係仲爭一位。好，咁我哋開始啦。Okay, so we begin. I first change back the screen from the cover photo to the textbook. While we are doing those settings, so remind you that tonight before 12 midnight. Then remember to hand in homework。OK， 25號見到啊，咁你可唔可以開 cam？ 麻煩你劉俊廷開 cam。OK， 好，見到你，好。好，咁我啱 office 都即刻問我喺咪喺度啊，所以我回覆咗先。好，咁劉俊廷記得下次早少少啊，準時啊，即係真係準時啊，唔好遲啊，因為我呢啲遲咗少少嘅話咧，就唔係太好。Okay, so I remind you that to hand in the homework for the section for the first part, the section 1 of the worksheet. Okay. Oh, sorry. What's up? Okay, disconnected. And then today we will go on with talking about equation of straight line, and then hopefully we may finish the first two parts. Okay, at last. Okay, so hello everyone. Is my voice clear? Is my voice clear, and also the screen clear to you? So could you see the screen clearly, and also could you see the grid lines, and could you also hear my voice clearly? Is it okay? Clear. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your responses. Okay. So today we will finish we will go on with the discussion for equation of straight line. Let's have a very quick review of last time. By the way, I also refresh the chat room to show the messages. So it always has to be I start the live and then I can do all this. Okay, so we begin. Yesterday we talked about how to find equation of straight line. If we know the position of the line, then there are two ways to do it. Two different ways to do it. It is according to what information are given. So one of it would be if you are given 2 points, and the other would be if you are given 1 point, 1 slope. And then so according to the given information, we may do it in one of these two ways. If it is the if we are given the 2 points, like for example it is A, but the point A with A1, A2, while point B with B1, B2, then we can find the equation of the straight line passing through AB. The straight line passing through AB, maybe I draw it better. Okay, then the equation of this L will be given by the form is slope equal to slope, which is y minus a2 over x minus a1 equal to b2 minus a2, b1 minus a1, and so on. And afterwards, we try to make the y subject, and then as the answer. Okay, and this is the 2 points. When you are given 2 points, and then in the book it says it is called 2-point form. Anyway, the name is not very important, but then most important is you know when we are using this. Oh, excuse me. And while on the other hand, if we are given 1.1 slope, which is the case that we have a point like point A, A1, A2 again on the plane, and then we have we are also given the slope of the line. A slope is m, and then we can also find this equation of L. Maybe I put it a little bit downward here. Equation of L will be given by, again, the format is still slope equal to slope, and which is y minus a1 over x minus y minus a2 over x minus a1, and then equal to the given slope. And then you can notice the similarity of these two formats. Okay, so the first one, we don't have the slope, then we use the 2 points to calculate the slope. While the second one, we are having the slope, and then so we just have the left hand side and then equal to the slope. And then also and so on, and then we have a y equal to, and then make the subject and then the answer. Okay, this was last time, and last time we also had a few examples to show these ideas. And then also in the homework, the first section of the worksheet, you are also asked to find the equation respectively for a few of the questions. If I don't remember wrong, it is a total of 6. And I also have got a few of you has already submitted, and that is very good, because it's always good that after every day, and you review what you have learned and immediately do the homework, and that's very good. Okay, so that was about yesterday, and then the two conditions will be given 2 points, and then given 1.1 slope. And then now today we will see more about, we will begin with seeing more about what we can get from the equation. That is, now if we have the equation, can we get some information out of it? Let's really see the middle steps of all these parts. Okay, so I try to remove it, and then and then just write the y subject at the end. Okay, so what are we going to do in the middle? What we did in the middle, we also did it yesterday. What we did in the middle is we try to move this denominator to the right hand side, and then while this the right hand side here, originally this will be the slope. And then okay, therefore if I don't write all those symbols in a so messy way, then y minus a2, move the denominator to the right hand side, then it will be slope, and then times x minus a1. And then if we again make more subject, then it would be go on the make subject process. That means we move this minus a2 to the other side, then it would be y equal to slope, and then times the x minus a1, and then plus the a2. And then afterwards, we may also remove the bracket. We remove the bracket, let's slope multiply to inside, and then this is slope is a number, and then a1 is also another number. So when we multiply it, then it will become another known number, and then another known number we can combine with a2, and then finally have the result. Then if we are making subject, then usually we will see the form will be y equal to mx plus c, and you will okay, maybe I move this step one step down because I want to write something in the middle, and then this will be then slope times x, and then there is another term will be slope times minus negative a1 and then plus a2, okay, to be in full. And then so you can see here is that always if we make a y subject form like this, then the number in front of x, will be the slope. And therefore, so when you make a y subject, the number there, then on the right hand side there will be a x term, and also there will be a constant term. And when going with the x term, it is always the slope. And so one very convenient thing is that if your equation is in the y subject form, that means you have y on one side, and then the other side no y at all. And then on the right hand side there is an x term, then the number in front of the x term will always be the slope. Also, this was talked about yesterday. Another thing which is we talked about yesterday, but a bit hurry maybe, is that what about this number? Of course, the number comes from a little bit long calculation, which is the slope times negative a1 and then plus a2, and we don't know exactly what does it mean. But what's more important is that if we focus on the last equation result, then it is a y equal to mx plus c, and then this constant c, what does it mean? It means that when we put x to be 0, then this term will go away, and then it will become y equal to c. Put x equal to 0, y equal to c. It means that on this original graph, the straight line, put x to be 0, that means we want to find when the point has a 0 x coordinate. And then therefore it means that this c, that means the constant term in the y subject equation, the constant term, it means I zoom it into the graph to show it clearly. It means that it is the position where this straight line cuts the y-axis. This will be c. And then therefore in our textbook there is also a part to introduce to you the form y equal to mx plus c. It is we use this form. It is mainly because we can see the slope easily. We can also understand the meaning of the constant term. The constant term here is the position where the straight line cuts the y-axis. And by the way, also to mention, if you are making notes, then you also better put this down. This c is the position where the straight line cuts the y-axis, and we call this c the y-intercept. Oh, sorry, wrong spelling. We call it the y-intercept. 呢個比較重要，所以重複一次啊，就係咧呢個 y 等於 mx 加 c 呢個咧書入邊有講過呢個特別嘅 form 啦，但係其實我哋就冇特別去講，我哋琴日淨係話make 翻個 y subject 就算嘅啫。咁呢個 y 等於 mx 加 c 咧呢個特別嘅 form 咧就係點解話佢特別，或者點解話比較好，就係你見到 y 等於 mx 加 c 嘅話，黐住 x 嗰個就係 m 啦，就係 slope。然後咧後面冇黐住 x 嗰個 c 咧就係一個特別嘅意思嘅，就係佢係條直線 cut 落去 y-axis 嗰個位置就係 c。咁而呢個 c 咧，我哋亦都有另一個名就叫做 y-intercept。咁呢個大家就特別可以留意 y-intercept 呢個名嚇。呢個 c 就係 y-intercept， 就係佢 cut 落去 x-axis 嗰度嗰個數字。And by the way, I have to emphasize here. That the y-intercept is a number. It is not a coordinate, or it is not a point. And then therefore, when you are asked about the y-intercept of the straight line, then you just give me c, and you don't give me 0c. Okay, don't give me this one. Y-intercept is just a number. It is not a coordinate of points. And therefore, later when, for example, in some of the questions you may see, I give the equation of straight line, and then you are asked to find the y-intercept, and then that means you just find the number where the straight line cuts the y-axis. Similarly, there is a similar name for the x coordinate at the x-axis as well. If we make this line a little longer, and then it will cut the x-axis at some point, and then this position is the x-intercept. Again, x-intercept is a number. Okay, it's a number, it's not a point, and therefore, for example, I call this the position where it cuts is maybe I just make it up, it's -4. Then the x-intercept is -4, and don't say -4, 0. Okay, although the point is -4, 0, but then when we say the x-intercept, we just want the number. Okay, so this is the part to be careful. And by the way, we also introduced the y-intercept and x-intercept names. Same for the other 1.1 slope form, because you can see it's exactly the same. It is a slope, and the right hand side is also the slope. And therefore, the good thing is whenever we make the form y subject, then the right hand side will be mx plus c, which means m is the slope, c is the y-intercept. C is the y-intercept, and we will not directly see the x-intercept from the equation. If we want to find the x-intercept, we need to calculate. And then today we will have some exercise as well to see this. So this is a little bit extra to what we have for yesterday. Okay, so we extend a little more than what we have for yesterday to see the y subject form and its usefulness. So how we use the y subject form, we can know the term with x, the number is slope, and the term without x, that is the constant term, then it is the y-intercept. Okay, so far any questions up to here? So we introduced that y subject, then we have the mx plus c, m is the slope, c is the y-intercept. Any questions? Do you all get it? Do you understand this part? No question. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it is good that it's very good, really good that you give some response whenever I ask, or even during what I'm talking about. Whenever in the middle you have question, you can always type your question, type what you don't understand in the chat room, and then I will try my best to stop at some certain position and then answer the question. And then therefore always ask. And also if I ask do you get it, then it's very good that you have some response. Okay, so this is one of the thing to go on with the yesterday thing. And therefore when we turn back to the textbook a few pages before, then we have here the y subject form. It's just what I say. Okay, y subject form, then it is the slope, and it is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is the position where it cuts the y-axis. And therefore also another special straight line is, what if it cuts through the origin? If the straight line cuts through the origin, then the y-intercept will be at the origin position, and that means it cuts the y-axis. The straight line cuts the y-axis at 0. And therefore, in this case, the y-intercept. Why I cannot write? Okay, try again. The y-intercept. What happened to the pen? Okay, here, and then the y-intercept will be 0. And then therefore you don't see the y equal to mx plus c, because this plus c is just 0, so we don't see it. Okay, so this is the special case when it passes through the origin. And then okay, so then we will really go to the next part, and then to also see some more examples. According to our textbook, the next part will be about some further problems. However, I think further problems would be a kind of concluding for this chapter. Therefore, I will rearrange the order a little bit by talking about the next section first, and then together with the next section, which is also the cover photo. You see the general form equation, okay, from the cover photo. I will first talk about the general form equations, and then together with all these forms, like the 2-point form, 1.1 slope form, and also the general equation form, we have all these put together, and then we see some concluding examples together. Therefore, for this further problem parts, I will rearrange it to a little later, and then we will go to the section 2 first, which is the general form equation. So a few pages I have already turned over. Okay, so the 4.2, the general form equation. This is nothing special. In fact, we can just say this whole thing for in one sentence, which is we just rewrite the form. Okay, so in the last section, what is it? In the last section we try to write our equation in the form y equal to mx plus c. Oh, I don't know what happened with this pen. It is the lines are broken. However, I just charged the pen completely before I begin the lesson. Okay, so y equal to mx plus c, we try to give our equation in a y subject form, and then the general form equation is just another form which is nothing special. We just try to put everything on one side, and then the other side 0. That means, for example, like if yesterday what do we have? I forgot. Anyway, I just make up some numbers. For example, if the straight line equation is y equal to 2x, hey, what happened to the pen? I don't know why I'm not charging it. Okay, anyway, for example, if the straight line is y equal to 2x plus 1, and then what about its general form? General form is just we try to put all the terms on one side and then the other side 0. And therefore, for example, we move this 2x plus 1 to the left hand side. Then it would be negative 2x and then plus y minus 1 equal to 0. We try to arrange it for x first and then y and then constant and then 0. Then if all terms on one side, the other side, nothing left there for 0, then this is the general form. Okay, then this is the general form. Then why do we introduce this? Because very often in the question you will be given equation in this general form. That means very often we give the equation, it is every term on one side, the other side 0. Why questions usually given like this? Because on the other hand, it gives us some convenience. For example, we want to solve for something, then equation in general form usually are easier to solve, because for example, if you have the program, then you can type into the program directly, or if there are other ways, there are other equations we want to solve together, then we can work easier with the general form. And therefore, that's why we introduce here the general form of the straight line equation. It's just to move the terms, move all terms to one side, the other side 0. Of course, you can also do it the other way. You can move the y to the right hand side, and then also maybe I put it in blue. It is also okay that you put y to the other side, then you have 2x minus y plus 1 equal to 0. It's also okay. And you can also notice how are they different. The red and the blue one, the red one comes from moving to the left hand side, while the blue one comes from moving y to the other side. Then you can see how they are different. The numbers are just exactly in the opposite sign. All the numbers are just exactly in the opposite sign, but then the equation will be the same, because it's just like you change the negative for both sides. So this is the general form. And therefore, we can try a few of the classwork. Maybe let's take about 2 minutes and try to rewrite all these into general form. And then next, we will talk about how can we read information. Like when it is y subject, we can read the slope, we can read the y-intercept. And what about if it is general form? Can we read some information as well? Okay, so then we first do this classwork to rewrite general form. Let's take like 2 minutes. Okay, maybe we check we will finish this at 9:15, okay, according to the live clock here. So we try to rewrite it. The rewrite is simple, just put everything on one side and the other side 0. Therefore the first one, so x plus 5 equal to 0. So you just put everything on one side, and this one has got no y term, therefore no need to write it. While question 2, just move it to one side, then it would be 4 over 3x minus y equal to 0. 嗱，跟住都係啊，好似紅色藍色咁樣，佢可以啲正負號全部調轉都係一樣嘅。不過要全部調轉啦，唔可以調啲唔調啲啦。咁即係呢個負就正，呢個正就負，呢個負就正，咁全部調轉晒都係一樣。Or if you want to make it more beautiful, for example, people like to have only integers, then we can as well change it. OK， 咁你一開始你可以寫 over 3x 減 y 等於0啦。咁但係如果你話我好想全部整數嘅，咁你全式乘3啦，等 4x 支筆又嚟啦，唔知做乜事，真係唔知點解。等 4x minus 3y equal to 0。咁亦都係可以啦，咁變翻即係全式乘3咧，就可以變翻個全部整數。咁有時啲人即係有時可能有啲人會覺得整數靚啲嘅。And while the third one, just move the terms to the left hand side, then we have 3x plus y minus 8 equal to 0. It is already in general form. The fourth one, we expand the bracket first. It becomes 4x plus 20, and then move the terms. And then so I try to move it to all the left hand side, then negative 4x plus y, 20, and then minus 20. Therefore minus 3 minus 20, so minus 23 equal to 0. The fifth one, expand the bracket again, negative 2 over 3x, and then plus 8 over 3. And then move the term, therefore 2 over 3x, and then plus y, and then 2 minus 8 over 3, therefore minus 2 over 3 equal to 0. 咁如果你話想變翻整數咁啊 2x 全式乘3啦，全式乘3即係每個 term 都乘3啊，就 plus 3y minus 2 equal to 0。咁如果本身 general form 嚟講就你俾份數都冇所謂嘅 general form， 除非佢題目講明要整數，咁如果唔係就冇所謂。咁但係你話我想靚啲，或者我想望落靚啲啦，一嚟二嚟就可能第時計數方面啲，即係例如佢做完 part A 再 part B 第時計數方面啲啦，咁就可能變翻整數嘅都會，即係呢兩個做答案都冇問題㗎啦。即係如果係 express in general form， 咁啊兩個都可以嘅，冇所謂嘅。And while the last one, if in fact we just move the one to the left hand side, then it is already done. But 當然啦，其實題目呢度有講嘅，題目其實係有講 integer 嘅。咁and then so if we want to make it into integer, then we can multiply the LCM of 3 and 4. That means multiply 12 from both sides. And if we multiply 12 for the first one, multiply 12 for the first one, then it cancels away. And therefore it will be 4x. And then multiply 12 for the second one, then also cancel away, then it will be 3y. And also don't forget to multiply 12 for the 1, therefore minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, so this is a general form. General form 冇乜特別嘅，淨係將所有嘢搬埋晒一邊，另一邊係0嚇，另一邊一定要係0。Okay, everything move to one side and the other side 0. Alright, that's it. So this is about general form, and then next we would like to see if we can read some information from the general form. And this part I will try to follow a bit from the textbook. And here, so how do we read information from the general form? We understand that last time we talked about the y subject, that is the y equal to mx plus c. And then so if y equal to mx plus c, then we know this is the slope. And this is the y-intercept. Now what about if the equation is at first with ax plus by plus c, which is a general form? That means all the terms on one side and then the other side is 0. Okay, then what about this? Then we can do a little rewriting. It's just like making subject. That you learned in life form 2, making subject. So we can do it by if at first we are given this general form, but we want to read some information, we can always do a make subject, change it back to y subject. that is move the non-y terms to the right hand side and then divide this b as well, and then we can make it back to y equal to mx plus c form, and from here then we can see this is the m, that is the slope, while the orange one is the y-intercept. And so from here we can read directly that the slope is negative a over b, while the y-intercept is negative c over b. And the textbook here shows us a summary is if we have the general form equation, the slope is negative a over b, which is the a is next to x, the b is next to y. So negative a over b, while the y-intercept is negative c over b. So it is exactly from this part, negative a over b and negative c over b for slope and y-intercept. On the other hand, if we want to find the x-intercept, x-intercept means that, for example, this is a straight line. This is a straight line. This is the straight line, and then we want to find the x-intercept. That means this position. Then this position will surely have a y coordinate 0. Therefore, if we are to find x-intercept, we put y to be 0. Put y to be 0 in this equation, therefore this term will go away because it is the y term. Okay, it go away. And then so if what we have is ax plus c equal to 0. Therefore, negative c over a. Negative c over a. That is what from the textbook it shows us. The slope negative a over b. Y-intercept negative c over b. We can get it by making subject. X-intercept negative c over a. Okay, so this is a summary. Everything here from the whole box from the textbook. However, I usually do not suggest students to remember this. I usually do not suggest you to remember because you don't need to. In fact, I would always suggest, like for example, I just make up some numbers and give example. For example, now I just make up some number like 4x minus 5y and then minus 20 equal to 0. I just make up an equation. This is a general form. You see all the terms on one side, the other side 0. And I want to find the y-intercept and I want to find the information. Then I don't need to remember this because I can make a subject from this equation really fast. Then if you want to get some equation, get some information, I suggest you make the subject and then you don't need to remember. If you make the subject, then it will be 5y equal to 4x minus 20. And then divide the y, then you will have 哇好核突啊！支筆做乜鬼？成日都斷晒墨嘅喂，唉，撳錯咗添，仲要。Okay, sorry 繼續嚇。And then divide the 5, then we have y equal to 4 over 5x. 20 also divided by 5, then minus 4. Then you make the subject and you can immediately see the slope is 4 over 5 and the y-intercept is negative 4. And then it is not hard to do the make subject. If you can process more steps in your mind, especially many of us in our class have taken M2, and then probably you are more confident in mathematics. Then if you can process more steps in your mind, you can even do the make subject in your mind directly. You can do this whole part skipping to the last step in your mind if you are doing it fast. Then we can read the slope and read the y-intercept easily. What about x-intercept? Then always x-intercept can be found by putting y equal to 0. And if you put y equal to 0, the y term will just go away. And therefore it is also not hard to find the x-intercept. 嗱，所以咧呢度補充少少啦，咁我就通常都唔建議同學去記呢個表嘅，即係記呢個我唔建議記嘅，通常我都唔建議記嘅，因為你要揾翻呢啲嘢其實唔難㗎，你將原本呢條式 make 翻 y subject，咁你都可以見到個 slope， 見到 y-intercept。咁個 x-intercept 你可以代翻 x 係代翻 y 係0啊 ，x-intercept 因為佢喺 x-axis 度，所以個 y 係0。咁你代翻 y 係0就可以揾到 x-intercept 㗎啦。所以咧，你其實唔需要記嘅。咁點解咧？嗱，點解我話明明有條式喺度，點解唔記啫？書入邊都有啦，點解你唔記咗佢啫？咁我唔建議記嘅原因咧，就係最主要原因就係以下呢個，就係因為咧， 呢條式咧，佢嗰啲負 A over B 啊、負 C over B 啊呢啲嘢咧，去到我哋另一個 chapter one 我哋搞 chapter 4先嘅，跟住先 chapter 1，即係我哋調咗個次序嘅，全個 form 都係咁樣樣啦。咁我哋去到 chapter 1嗰時咧，我哋去擴咗啲 equation 咧，有另外一條嗰條真係要記嘅式咧，同呢個係好似樣，但係咧佢啲 ABC 佢又係 ABC 㗎，不過佢係細階啦嚇。但係咁佢就撈亂，即係佢好似樣，但係又唔係完全一樣樣喎。咁咧，所以咧你去到嗰度咧，又再記啲同 ABC 有關嘅嘢啊！你喺呢度先記嗰啲 ABC 有關嘅嘢，跟住去到 chapter 1又記啲同 ABC 有關嘅嘢，就好容易撈亂㗎。所以咧呢度咧嗱，雖然書有咁，我頭先亦都好輕輕咁樣講過就算數，但係咧我喺度可能花更多時間就話俾你知，其實唔使記，你不如自己 make subject， 咁你見到 slope 同 y-intercept， 然後再代個 y 等於0，揾埋個 x-intercept， 咁就更加好。咁你記少樣嘢就唔會撈亂咗第時 chapter 1嗰啲啊。因為其實 chapter 1嗰個咧，佢就係有個負 B over A 咁樣樣，咁你撈亂啦，咁究竟 A over B 定 B over A 啊？咁我就唔想你撈亂呢樣嘢，所以咧我就唔建議你要記呢個嘅，你反而自己 make 下個 y subject， 然後睇翻 slope y-intercept， 跟住你想揾 x-intercept 就代 y 等於0，咁就會快，咁就會好啲啦。咁你就唔使記咁多嘢。咁而我自己都係啊，我自己讀數學都唔係想記咁多嘢㗎，我係想識得點做。而唔係想記得點樣，唔係想記得啲 formula。雖然有時 formula 都難免係要記嘅，例如你可能 form 3學啲 volume 啊嗰啲 formula 係要記嘅。咁但係你有時有啲嘢可以唔使記而可以自己做到嘅話咧，咁其實可能更加好。Okay, so a little supplementary things here， 咁補充少少嚇。And then this is all about the general form. That is, to summarize, general form is everything on one side。And then the other side 0. And if we are given the general form, we can always get back those information by making the subject of y. And we did the general form mainly because we are usually given in the question. The question also always give us is the general form equation, rather than making the y subject。雖然 y subject 係好方便，但係好多時題目俾你本身唔係 y subject，所以就特登都教一教大家，就係你見到 general form 就 make 翻個 y subject 就容易啲睇啲 information 嘅。當然 general form 佢自己亦都有啲其他好處，主要就係佢做 solve equation 係方便嘅。例如你直接撳落個 program 度好方便嘅可以。OK， 咁但係 solve equation 係呢課最後啦，咁我哋遲啲再翻去睇翻。And then we can see some more problems. We have about 10 minutes left. Then maybe we see one more example. And then that is about all. And so we turn back to the 4.1 and see some further examples. 4.1。咁我揭翻書嘅前少少，睇翻一啲唔同嘅例子。咁佢嗰啲所謂嘅 further problem 咧，主要就係我哋識得揾 equation 之後咧，就睇下點樣用個 equation。又或者我哋可能係首先會叫你揾下 equation， 咁然後就你知道個 equation 之後，再睇下點樣用嗰個 equation。咁equation 嘅意思就即係話代表晒所有線上面嘅 point 咧，都應該會條 equation 係啱嘅。咁同我哋之前講嘅都好類似啦。Okay，so further problem。We don't talk about the example 5. We just go to quick practice and take it as an example. So let's do the quick practice 5 here. About 9 minutes left. So let's try to finish it together as soon as possible. And then if we still have some time left, I can also show you the answer for the worksheet for tonight, so that you can do answer checking. Okay, so we begin this. In the figure, PA2 is a point, so it is marked here. And then the two straight line, L1 is the green straight line, while L2 is the orange straight line, but no equation given for L2. L1 we have the equation. We have the equation, then we can know all the points. So find the slope of L2 is 1, or is also given. Find the value of A. Find the value of A. A is here, which is the x-coordinate of the point P. And we also see the point P lies on this L1 line, and therefore we can put this A and 2 into the equation. And so as a step, then we will write for part A, then we will put x equal to A, y equal to 2 into the equation of L1, into L1, and therefore we have 2 equal to negative 3A minus 4. And solving it, add 4, that means 6, and then divided by negative 3, then negative 2. Then this is the part part A。咁其實 solve 呢啲步驟咧，你唔使寫中間嘅步驟都得㗎。你如果就咁見到，即係你加4除負3啫嘛，你直接見到答案，咁直接寫落去都得。即係你寫完個 first step 可以直接落㗎啦。因為我自己都其實好建議大家可以你識得跳嘅嗰啲普通計算嘅步驟，識得跳可以跳咗去。因為咧你跳得到呢啲步驟咧，即係代表你個腦係可以 process 得一次可以 process 多啲步驟，咁其實係好事嚟㗎。不過當然啦，跳步就會有因為跳步而計錯數嘅風險啦，咁就自己衡量啦。咁但係我自己覺得係跳步係 OK 㗎。B1 then find the equation of L2 L2 and then after the L1 after the part A we know this point A is -2 2 and then so that means we have a point this point P lies on both lines and therefore we have a point on this line and then to know the equation we need 1 point and 1 slope and which is already there, so we have the point and slope, therefore we can find the equation of L1 and so we can write directly equation of L2 will then be used the 1.1 slope form, that is y minus 2 over x plus 2 this is for minus 2 equal to 1, the slope equal to slope form and we writing then we have y minus 2 equal to x plus 2 and y equal to x plus 4。咁我自己俾答案通常都俾 y subject 嘅，因為 y subject 可以容易睇多啲資料嘅。And then finally you are asked does the point -6 -2 lie on L2 咁啊就問負6負2係咪喺 L2 嗰條線上面嚇 ？And then therefore but we just have the equation of L2 here. Then we can use the equation to check whether A lies on the point. Because this is the equation form, then we can check, put x and put y, we can check are they equal. Then we can put x equal to -6, y equal to -2, and then we can check the left hand side and right hand side, see if they are the same. The left hand side is y, therefore -2. The right hand side is x plus 4, therefore -6 plus 4, which is also -2, so it is the same as left hand side. Therefore, we can conclude A lies on L2. And then that's the the quick practice 5. Is there any questions? Then this is one further problem. So it is finding information from the equation, and also finding another equation. And also using the equation to help us determine something, to determine whether things lie on points lie on the line. Okay, a first example. And then for the rest of the whole section, we will see some more example, which will be next time. Is this okay for this example? For this quick practice, is it okay? 咁我哋之後嘅即係唔係今日啦，係下一次啦，咁下一次星期4啦。咁就我哋其他 example 都係咁樣嘅，就係睇下點樣揾 equation， 揾完 equation 之後點樣用用 equation 嚟幫我睇啲資料啦，可能用 equation 嚟幫我哋去揾啲 unknown 啦，咁樣。咁就大致上都係咁樣㗎啦。咁當然會可能嚟緊都會有啲同 Form 3有啲關嘅，例如 Form 3我哋學過啲 slope 咧點樣用啦，即係直角嘅 slope 又點樣 parallel 嘅 slope 又點樣咁我哋都有學過，都有機會會用翻。所以我哋亦都會一路睇 example 一路溫嘅呢啲嘢。又或者我哋喺 Form 3亦都有學過個 distance formula， 亦都有機會用嘅。咁所以我哋亦都會喺一路睇 formula， 睇 example 一路溫翻呢啲 formulas 啊。OK， 咁就係咁樣啦。咁就最後咧，我就想用少少時間就俾個worksheet 嘅答案俾大家啦。因為咧，我哋平時咧喺做書嘅題目咧，就大家可以揭去書後面做睇答案噶嘛。咁但係我俾 worksheet 你就冇得揭去 worksheet 後面，我冇印到答案俾你噶嘛。咁所以咧，我亦都係預備咗嘅，就係嗰個worksheet 1嘅答案。咁我見到其實有9位同學交咗，非常好啊，非常好就一即日比即日交咁，非常好啊。咁不過咧，你亦都可以對一對個答案先。咁我嗱，淨係答案嘅啫，冇 step 㗎嚇，所以咧你應該係要填翻啲 step 㗎。咁呢個純粹就好似書後面答案俾你 check 答案咁解嘅啫。OK， 嗱咁呢個就答案嚟嘅。咁你就可以check 一 check。咁我掃一掃算㗎，因為呢個直播你可以之後睇翻嘅。咁我掃一掃就算㗎啦。OK，and then the other one。淨係答案嚟嘅啫，咁你要自己填翻啲 step 㗎嚇。嗱，下面呢度好似寫咗好多嘢都係淨係答案嚟嘅啫，你自己填翻啲 step 嘅。Okay, so then I briefly show this answer to you. And then 冇啦，得2版啫。 OK，then so 可能放大少少啦，睇清楚啲啦。OK，第2條2、3、4 and then question 5, question 6. Okay, so these are all the answers. But now you don't just give me the answer, because if you just give me the answer, for example in test or exam, I will only give you the answer mark if it is correct, but you will not get full marks. 嗱，所以你要明白個分別就係咧，我即係所謂嘅跳步同埋淨係寫答案有分別㗎。跳步你起碼都有個第一步，然後你嗰啲基本運算嘅你自己飛走佢冇所謂，因為你自己 process 到，你可以 make subject 一嘢搞掂晒佢冇所謂。但係咧你要點都要有個第一步同埋最後答案，咁呢個係最基本嘅。你可能中間啲步驟你可以個腦處理得快啲 ，OK 冇問題嘅，或者你自己其實撳咗 cal 搞掂咗啦，咁你唔使 show 出嚟。但係你至少 first step 係冇可能冇嘅。Therefore here are all only answers for you to do answer checking. But then you can you should show complete step, and the homework will be handed in tonight. 我好似唔記得就喺個手冊度寫嘅，咁我一陣間落嗰堂之後我會寫翻㗎啦嚇。咁就今晚嘅嗰個，咁其實好快咧，應該我琴日做嘅時候好似都係做咗2-3個字嘅啫，好快嘅啫，應該係。OK， 咁就係咁樣啦。咁就我哋下一次咧，即係星期四啊。Next time Thursday, then we will see more examples about finding equation and also using the equation. They are like concluding example. Then the first 2 parts will be completed, and then afterwards then there's one more section about when lines intersect. Then what could we do? Also a very simple part. Alright, that's all. So then remember to hand in the homework tonight. Remember hand in homework tonight, and that's all for it. And then so you can prepare for your next lesson. So see you guys later. Goodbye.